Hey guys, welcome back to the wood shop. I know it's been a minute, life got in the way, but today we're back with another money-making woodworking project. And just so happened this one falls right in line with Mother's Day. That's coming up soon. So this is actually going to be a project for my mother, but easy enough to sell these and they're beautiful. Stick around. So we headed out recently to the big box store and I picked up a few of these cedar fence pickets. And I just grabbed a handful of these. I wasn't sure exactly how many we're going to need. But either way, what it's going to involve is some of these clay pots as well. Now, you don't necessarily have to buy the clay pots. You can let the customer buy those. But since this one's for my mother, we're going all out. And I've got 3 of these. So without further ado, let's jump right into the project. So first off, a lot of you guys say you don't have a lot of special tools. And the good thing about this project, you don't need anything more than a handsaw and a drill if you've got one. Of course, I've got a few more than that, so we're going to take advantage of those. But the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take these clay pots and we're going to set them up here. And you can adjust this to your own project depending on the size of these and as many as you want. I'm going with 3. And we'll give them a little bit of room, and then we're going to just kind of measure that. Just come up with an even number, and we're close to 20 inches, so I think we're going to stick with that. And the good thing is we don't have to do rip cuts on this, so cross cuts is pretty much all we're going to need. And this particular one, you may have to change. Mine is 5.5. Yours may be a little different depending on where you get them, but we're going to cut this at 20 inches. So I've got a bit of a mess on the table saw here just so we can avoid kind of moving that mess. We're going to use just a typical handsaw here and try to cut this as straight as possible. Now, it does not have to be perfect in this project. So these pickets are 5.5 inches wide, as I mentioned earlier. And what we're going to do, basically make a square. So we're just going to measure 5.5 inches lengthwise. And we're going to cut 2 of those. So you can kind of see this thing taking shape. We've got the 2 ends here, and basically we're building a box. We're going to take those 2 ends and stand them up, and the reason we're doing that, the outside pieces need to be flush end to end, and so they can't be 20 inches like this because they need to overlap the 2 edges. And we're about 21 3/16. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is start attaching these things. And at first I'm going to use a brad nailer here just to kind of get them stuck together, but I am going to go back and probably reinforce that with screws, outdoor glue. So we're going to attach our first side here. Get it flush. One side down. Okay, and at this point we're going to attach the back but not the front, and you'll see why here in just a moment. But We want to make sure everything's flush. Now this one is a little crooked, and as I mentioned, it don't have to be perfect. It's going to do exactly what we need it to. Here in just a moment, we'll line that up. Go ahead and get glue attached on this. And you can see here we're not exactly flush, but we'll go ahead and straighten that up. So after doing a little research and figuring things out here, you can actually finish this little project with just 2 fence pickets. Now you will have to, if you want it that way, I got 3 just so I wouldn't have to worry about these ends and cutting them, so it's not a big deal. But I think what I'm going to do is once we cut this one off to match this one, I'm just going to angle that other end and make another one just like it, and you'll see what I'm talking about here a little bit. And as far as the length of these, I just held it up behind here and done what looked proportionate. And we're about 15.5 inches length, so we're going to do all 3 that way. What we're going to do now is just make sure we don't put glue out past where we want to see it. So we just stand these up like we're going to have them displayed. And we take and just do a really light pencil mark. That way we know not to go past that point. And the way we'll do this, kind of flush it up on the end. And then we can add the screws. And this is why I said it's best if you leave the front one off. That way you got easy access to get to this. And just do it kind of like that. And this is pretty light wood, soft wood, so you want to be careful that you don't split it. And for the middle one here, we're just going to kind of get it pretty close. Measure our distances here. And when we get close as we need to be, we'll just make a pencil mark. That way we know exactly where to put it back. And we'll go ahead and attach our front here. So at this point, we're pretty much with a finished project, guys. What do you think about it? Looks like a little fence and a planter box all in one. Now we're going to add these clay pots. Now you do want to drill holes in the bottom just for drainage. And then I'm no green thumb, but I've seen some plants I figured my mother would like. So before I make too big of a mess, like I said, I'm no green thumb. I will have to put some dirt in here, and I don't have that on me. But just for demonstration purposes, you can see the flowers and the plants I picked up for. We're just going to set that in there and kind of let that be our little image. Set that one in there. Now don't ask me what these are because I have no idea. But I figured my mother would like them. And the good thing about this, once these plants kind of outgrow this, you can swap those to the outdoors, put some new ones in here, and you're ready to go again. Anyway, we're at the end of this project. One other thing I forgot to mention, if you are going to leave this thing outdoors, of course this is made for fences, but I'd prefer something with a little more protection, so I'm going to put a spar urethane on that. But you can add whatever finish you like or leave it as is. It looks beautiful either way. But either way, tell me what you thought about this little project. Good money making project or a good gift. I appreciate you watching. Like, share, subscribe if you would. We'll see you on the next video.